Welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about something I've been wanting to get around to for a while, and I decided to make this video today for a couple of reasons. Firstly, we're going to have a new Doctor on Sunday, which I am super excited about. Secondly, I actually picked up Series 8, the Series 8 box set the other day. So, this video is a ranking of the new series first episodes for new series Doctors. So we're going to be looking at Rose, The Christmas Invasion, The 11th Hour, and Deep Breath. We will not really be looking into the War Doctor or figures such as like the Dream Lord. We're going to be looking at the main Doctors for the new series so far, leading up to Jodie Whittaker. Now, we're going to start this list off with the... we're going to start this list off with the weakest story, in my opinion, of the list. And it's not a bad story at all. It's, I would say, towards the top tier of Doctor Who episodes, especially for its series. But I feel that the worst new appearance, or first appearance for a new Doctor, is Rose, starring Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor and Billie Piper as Rose Tyler. Now, this story is really, really good. It does what it's setting out to do really well, which is not only introduce a new Doctor and a new companion, but also introduce Doctor Who as a concept. That said, it kind of plays it safe with a lot of the characterization and what we get shown, and the story itself isn't super outstanding. It is entertaining. I really like Chris Eccleston's take on the Doctor. I really enjoy Billie Piper. She's not at her best in this, but she is good. I like the return of the Autons. I like the big speech about the turn of the Earth. All that said, it just doesn't stand out to me as much as some of the others on this list. Now, moving up from number 4 on the list, we have number 3, The Christmas Invasion. Now, a lot of people would argue that Rose is better than The Christmas Invasion. This would largely be based around the fact that the Doctor really doesn't appear much in The Christmas Invasion, and when he does appear, he is usually unconscious. All that said, I think it's a great way to introduce the 10th Doctor. I think that having him showing the contrast of what happens when the Doctor isn't there is a really powerful direction to go with a first episode. I think Billie Piper is very, very strong in this, much stronger than she was in Rose. And it's funny, it's lighthearted, it has a great, I love Song for 10, the soundtrack is really strong, a lot of great little moments here, and especially with Harriet Jones, in particular, when he brings down her government with just 6 words. It's a really strong episode. That said, 10 isn't in it that much. The villains are okay. Some of the dialogue feels a little bit clunky, and it's not an entirely outstanding episode as a first appearance for a Doctor. Still, I like it a lot. Now, moving up from number 3, we have number 2, and this is one that oftentimes gets ranked as the worst introduction for a Doctor, or one of the worst. Usually it is above Time and the Ronnie, or Time and the Ronnie and the TV movie. Those usually get ranked lower, but this is Deep Breath, which I feel is criminally underrated. Not only does Peter Capaldi give a great performance, and we really get to see him shine in this? Jenna Coleman's Clara is pretty good in this. I wouldn't say she's a shining. I wouldn't say she's one of the best parts of this episode, but she does work. Strax and Madame Bastra and Jenny, I really enjoyed them all in this. There are some genuine laugh out loud moments. There's also a lot of sadness, especially with the dinosaur burning alive. I watched this being a massive Matt Smith fan. And when watching this, it was very jarring. It's a much darker Doctor Who. And it does that very well. You don't know if you can trust the Doctor. You think, is he really going to betray Clara, let her be tortured and killed? And ultimately he doesn't. We find out he is the same Doctor. And it's a really good story. And it has an appearance from Matt Smith, which you could argue kind of detracts from Capaldi's beginning, or him taking over the role, but I enjoyed that scene a great deal. And it did make me tear up a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Now, my number one story, if you've been keeping count, is probably not hard to guess. It's The 11th Hour. It combines a lot of elements that really work in the other stories and does them incredibly well. We have an in-depth look at the new Doctor as he tries to figure out who he is, what he's going to be like, akin to the end of the Christmas Invasion. And it's like a much more lighthearted version of A Deep Breath, which is more apt comparison. We also have a great villain in Prisoner Zero. It lays the foundation of a plot arc, but doesn't, hammer it down so you can enjoy it without having to consider it part of some bigger thing. It works on its own. The companion is great. We have a lot of great dialogue. It's shot very well. The soundtrack is great. It leaves you wanting more. It makes you feel that you know this new Doctor and that you are excited to go on new adventures with him. The 11th Hour is... I will be doing a classic Doctor first story ranking list, but I would argue that The 11th Hour is probably one of the best, if not the best, introduction story for a new Doctor ever. And that is saying something in such a long-running franchise. So, these are just my thoughts. If you disagree, you feel I've gotten one I've overrated one, underrated one, this is all wrong, you would do it completely different. If you agree, just tell me what you think in the comments. So you know what to do. Like, subscribe. You have a great one.